Hi, I'm Grace Mise, and today I'm going to be showing you the mise en place for an acorn squash and how to prepare it. So this is the mise en place. I have olive oil, some salt, and spices. You can choose many different spices to use it for, but I have ground nutmeg, some oregano, and cayenne pepper. Also, if you are going to use cayenne pepper, only use a little bit because it's very spicy. And this is my acorn squash. There's actually two different ways you can cook the acorn squash. You could cook it on a pan in the oven, that's what I'm going to be doing, or you can cook it in a crock pot. So I'm going to be showing you how to prep this, and the first thing you should do is probably wash it, but I've already washed it, so it'll be good. And now I'm going to be checking to see where I can cut it in half. And luckily the bumps is like a good guide to cut it in half, so I'm going to cut it right here. Okay, so now I have my my acorn squash cut in half. So I'm going to be moving this one to the side so I can only show you half of it, just to make it easier. First thing you want to do is start scraping the seeds. I'm going to start scraping it on the end here, so that will be easier to come out. Alright, I'm just going to do one big scoop here, but be careful because it could fling if you are too rough with it. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit more carving here. It's kind of like carving a pumpkin. Alright, this is just going to take a second more. I'm not sure if it will affect the overall meal, but it's just better to keep the seeds out. Alright, and now that I've gotten all the seeds out, I'm going to start cutting it by by 1 inch. So I'm going to use the bumps to help guide me. It's very rough, so be extra careful. Okay, so now I've got my acorn squash slices, and now I'm going to be putting them into this bowl. I make it nice and shallow because there's only going to be a couple ingredients in here, and you're just going to be mixing a couple slices. I'm going to leave some of them to the side actually, so it'll be easier. I'm going to bring it to me, and I'm going to be using nutmeg. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit on each slice, but not too much because nutmeg has a very powerful taste. Okay, that should be good. Alright, and now I'm going to dress it up with some olive oil. Okay, and now I'm going to mix it with the spoon. I'm going to scrape it off a little bit. It's the same part of the acorn squash, so it'll be okay. I'm going to mix it a little bit. Mix it around to keep all the spices together and all the olive oil together. Pieces are pretty big, so be careful when you're stirring it around. Alright. And that should be good. So now I'm going to take each piece and then put it on the pan here. Now this is one of these recipes where you gotta estimate time, so the best idea is I'm going to be cooking mine at 350 for about 15 minutes, and you should be checking it probably before that, 5 minutes before that. And also to check it to make sure that it's ready, you can put a fork into a piece, and then that will identify if it's soft enough or ready for your meal. So that's how you prep acorn squash, and this is the mise en place for it. Thank you.